We welcome you to the Pacific Northwest tonight, where the nightcap in MLS Next Pro Match Day 4 takes center stage from Tukwila, Washington. Tacoma Defiance hosting Austin FC 2 here at Starfire Sports Complex Stadium. We welcome you to the Pacific Northwest. Sam Goldfarb here bringing you all of the action tonight. A pair of squads looking to continue solid starts to the season. An Austin side fresh off its first victory of the year a week ago against a Tacoma side that has churned out results but is still hunting that elusive first win under Paulo Nagamura. We'll see if they can take care of business at home in front of their supporters. We'll get a look at our starting lineup, starting with Paulo Nagamura's men. Just one change from that scoreless draw against Earthquakes 2. It comes in the form of Sebastian Gomez, who scored 5 goals a year ago in MLS Next Pro, the first teamer into the fold alongside Yusuke Nome, who is a creative mastermind in behind Mark Bronick, the new addition up front. Max Anchor starting between the sticks for the second consecutive contest. On the opposite end of things for Austin FC 2, under first-year head coach Jason Shackle, this is what they trot out, a 4-3-3. It is just one alteration from last week, their first win of the year against North Texas. Kenan Hott enters the fold, the former Duke University standout, into the midfield alongside Jacobato, who scored a scorcher, which was enough to secure all 3 points 8 nights ago. Also, keep your eye on the youngster Aiden Hale on the left flank. He starts alongside Burton and Dobrijevic up front. Just about ready to get everything underway here from Tukwila, Washington and Starfire Sports Complex Stadium. We thank you for joining us here on MLS Next Pro After Dark. Match Day 4 drawing to its conclusion. A Tacoma side that has churned out 2 draws through its opening 3 matches, but some disappointment. No goals in the last 185 minutes, despite signs of promise. They take on an Austin squad that has started to get things going in the right direction after a 4-0 defeat to open the season against Minnesota United FC 2. 4 points from their last 2 fixtures. And of course, that victory in a Texas Derby clash against North Texas. It will be Tacoma in their home black strips with the white numbers. They'll be going from left to right on your screen. Meanwhile, Austin FC 2 from right to left. We just await our referee signal to get everything going here from Tukwila. Well, it is a Tacoma Defiance side still looking to put last season on the back burner. A squad that opened red hot, reached the round of 32 of the U.S. Open Cup, and then things unraveled rather fast. A defense that leaked goals down the stretch of the season, and despite a promising conclusion, falling well short of the playoff line. This is an Austin squad that only fell short of the postseason on a wins tiebreaker, with Ventura County FC hoping to take one step further and return to their first playoffs since their 2023 Next Pro title campaign a few years back. Ready to get things going here to round out Match Day 4 in MLS Next Pro. We are excited to see how this unfolds on the West Coast. And we are underway. Tacoma and Austin for the first time in 2026. One of these 2 sides looking to surge up the Western Conference table on the young season. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action. We thank you for joining us here from Starfire Sports Complex Stadium. It's a pair of teams that look to dominate the ball, so this will get intriguing. An Austin squad that under Jason Shackle has maintained a lot of the possession-based principles that Brett Utley instilled, but he himself saying we want a little more verticality and directness. Tacoma themselves has always been known to try and run the show. Trevor Wiseman overseeing everything here. Let's hope it doesn't get too testy for him, as this is sprayed long and an early break forward for Tacoma. Hauregi. And it's bashed away to Micah Burton, the former U.S. Youth National Team standout. Smith. Early on, no surprise, Tacoma settling in, knocking the ball about with considerable confidence. Now just looking for that cutting edge, though. No goals since their Herculean 2-goal comeback on this very ground on opening night against LAFC 2. Came back from 2-0 down in the final 10 minutes to force penalties. Since then, no goals in the last 185 minutes. Mark Bronick looked like he had snapped that drought in the closing stages of last week's draw against San Jose Earthquakes 2, but the goal ruled out for offside. Here's Jules Betty, former AS Monaco standout in the academy ranks. Hot is fouled. Well, it is a Tacoma squad that endured some frustration a week ago. More of the shots on frame against San Jose Earthquakes 2. And yet unable to open the scoring and fell on penalties on a somewhat disappointing shootout performance by their standards 8 nights ago. Paulo Nagamura himself saying that he felt that he was proud of the defensive organization, far better than their season opening performance where they conceded twice, and then of course the brutal defeat at Dynamo Dos a few weeks back. Said that he felt though there were 3 or 4 chances they could have taken despite promise in possession. That is the next goal, pushing forward and trying to break teams down after reestablishing their defensive solidity following that rough trip to Houston. His ball towards Jauregui, the signing out of Charlotte Independence, and he darts past 2 defenders and looks forward now. Laid off to Mark Bronick, who drives it across the face, and no real trouble for Charlie Ferrara in the end. It's a decent chance this, a clever back heel from Sebastian Gomez, and then it's just dribbled wide by Bronick. Likely would have been hoping for slightly better final product from the signing out of Union Omaha. But already making noise and getting into threatening positions in the early stages. Jauregui. Bashed forward by Smith, and it's beyond the reach of Rafa Jauregui, but that's a promising sign. Well, a chilly night in Tukwila, Washington, as to be expected around this time of year. 7 p.m. local kickoff and 45 degrees. Not necessarily one that requires everyone to bundle up fully, but it is by no means temperate either. Fans still out in full force to support their Tacoma Defiance squad. Here's Burton, ranging forward for Austin FC 2. And now ushered wide. Dobriovic, cross, and overzealous in the end from Aiden Hale, the academy standout. It's a decent cross this, a little too tight on the goalkeeper, and either way, Mark O'Neill drawing the foul with little issue. Signs for Austin against the grain that they can at least ask questions. Here's Gomez. Sprayed towards Jauregui, but ultimately right at the defender in the mix. There's a player still down now for Austin FC 2. This is a point of concern. This is a squad that does boast considerable talent on the bench, but I doubt Jason Shackle wants to delve into that this early. It's Riley Thomas, who's slow to return to his feet. Well, on the opposite end of things for Austin FC 2, it was a rude awakening to begin Jason Shackle's era in charge. Fell 4-2 against Minnesota United FC2 in their opener on March 1st. And Jason Chackle mentioning they were far too susceptible to counterattacks and transition moments. So that's been a huge point of emphasis for his Austin FC2 squad in the weeks following that. And ultimately got off to a strong start against Ventura County. Did wind up dropping points after going 2-0 in front. But last week, he said, was a major step in the right direction. Very organized on a windy night against North Texas, and were able to score first and see it out for their first clean sheet. That a major confidence boost after being rattled to the core in their season opener just 2 weeks prior. He's mentioned that that is what they've hoped to continue on, remaining organized, doing all the little things well, running ragged out of possession to maintain defensive shape. Those are the primary points of emphasis for a squad that historically has ranked amongst the best defenses in MLS Next Pro. This is given away briefly, and in retreat is Winslow, who concedes a corner. So the first set piece of the match goes the way of Austin FC2. It will be Patrick Kelly, the third-round MLS Super Draft pick, who will take this. Started at left back to open the season, adding versatility to his game after playing further upfield in college. Arcs this in with in-swing to the heart of the area. It's headed away only as far as Betty. Maybe a chance to break for Jauregui and company. Lofts it long. Lottie was shrugged in the back. Gonzalez. Well, for those just joining us, we welcome you to Starfire Sports Complex Stadium, Sam Goldfarb, here in Tukwila, Washington, for the final match of match day 4 on this busy Sunday at MLS Next Pro. No score between Defiance and Austin FC2. It is the 6th all-time meeting between these two clubs. Austin FC 3-2 in the previous 5 meetings. Of course, last year, 2-1 victory on this ground in late September, a defeat that all but doomed Tacoma to finish south of the playoff line for the first time in their Next Pro era. Here's Gonzalez, who ushers this wide. Kelly's cross, it's a dangerous one, but no one there in white to get a touch. That, though, very promising from Austin. It gives us a chance to check in on our goalkeeper tonight. Max Anchor, the 21-year-old, after nearly a decade in the Vancouver Whitecaps developmental ranks, be it the academy, the second team, or the first team fold these last few years. He ultimately didn't have his contract renewed, so made the move as a free agent to Tacoma this offseason. Signed a first-team contract with Seattle Sounders in the process. Well, he's primarily been a second-team feature on the Young campaign. Has been on the bench for many of the high-profile fixtures that Seattle has had, including the Champions Cup triumph in Spokane on Wednesday night. That a 2-1 victory to secure a 5-1 aggregate triumph over Vancouver Whitecaps to move to the quarterfinals of the competition. This is Gomez, clips this in, falls kindly for Yu Sukanome, who is always a danger on it. Sandness. Nielati. Vertical ball to Bronick, and the flag is up. You're beginning to see the patterns of play from Paulo Nagamura's men. The front four working off each other well, and now starting to find Yu Sukanome in the pockets, and that is where he can influence the game best, the now newly minted first-teamer. Someone who scored 24 goals in 57 previous Next Pro appearances. Kelly. Hale loses out. This is O'Neal. He wins a throw for Tacoma. Anchor, it's loose in the press. Sandnes forced to recover. Here's Gomez. We just see moments where Austin can pop up and strike. This is a squad that a year ago not known for its goal scoring by any means. The third least goals in MLS Next Pro with just 36. And that offset one of the best defenses in the league. A team that conceded just 35 goals allowed, 36 goals allowed in MLS Next Pro last year, 35 goals for. So -1 goal difference despite boasting the third best defense in the league. And that's sometimes the struggle Austin's encountered. For all of its possession and its ability to control games, unable to pounce sometimes, as Hauregi roams the other direction, and Bronick was offside anyways. And that's why Jason Chackle mentioned this week a desire to add more verticality and directness into their game. This is a squad that has its principles in possession pretty clearly defined. They know they can control the game with their ability to knock it about and methodically pull teams out of position in possession. But now it's about actually breaking teams down with a touch more bite in the area where it matters most. Kelly lofting it long, and there is that touch of verticality they were looking for, but doesn't reach Gonzalez on that occasion. O'Neal has it taken off him, but fouled in the process. Inching towards the quarter of an hour mark here in the Pacific Northwest. For those joining us, we say thank you for tuning in to some Next Pro After Dark. Defiance and Austin FC2 locking horns for the first time this year. A rematch of a thrilling 2-1 affair on this very ground on September 12th. That a match Austin won courtesy of Jorge Alastue's 76th minute winner. He is not in the squad this evening, was with the first team yesterday. Here's a cutback for Gonzalez, just over. And the first major chance of the night goes begging. Well, fans, this portion of the match is brought to you by your locally owned and operated McDonald's. Barrow, the lone goal scorer against North Texas, and what a goal it was from about 30 yards, blasted it top bins. And that was the moment that made all the difference. Jason Chackle's men able to sit back, absorb more pressure. Still had a good share of the shots and shots on frame, but after that, taking the sting out of the game methodically for their first victory of the year. As Burton ranges through traffic. Gonzalez. Thomas, University of North Carolina product in year 2 with Austin FC2. Betty plays it vertically, cut out by O'Neal, and that tackle was necessary. Phoenix can't keep it in play on the far side. After early spells of dominance from Tacoma, you're starting to see Austin settle in. This is where they're at their best. Just waiting to pull defenders out of position. Of course, this is a Tacoma side that, especially at home, historically has been known for its propensity to press. So these are the moments where if Austin can play with precision, it can maybe get at this Tacoma side. Burton is onside here and wins a corner for the Verde and Black. That sets up Kelly from the corner flag once again, and it certainly favors that left boot of his from this angle. Within swing, toward the heart of the area again. Nodded away by Jauregui, only as far as the edge of the area though. Thomas. Pings in another cross. It's a blazing ball that O'Neal bashes away, and the threat restricted for now. It was an interesting campaign for Tacoma a year ago. We alluded to it off the top, a team that started very fast. 5 wins in its first 7 league matches. As we already mentioned, made a run to the round of 32 of the U.S. Open Cup and barely fell to Portland Timbers on this ground. It required a late winner from the penalty spot to make all the difference in that one. But the issue was after that, went winless in the next 11 league matches. That carried them through the summer and early fall. Hervé Diesse departed, and then from there, it was hard to stabilize things. A team that did enjoy a strong conclusion of the year, but it was largely too little too late. Finished comfortably below the playoff line, 5 points, and that included a decision day victory that made that margin academic. For Austin, they were playing for the potential to reach the playoffs on the final day, but despite their victory, fell short on a total wins tiebreaker. Jauregui flashes this inside to Sukanome, who's looking around Botto. Dispossessed, though. This is Micah Burton. Gonzalez. That is not cleared properly, although it falls rather kindly for Betty. Kelly. Looking ahead for Burton. Handled comfortably by Gayatin Sandnes, though. This is O'Neal. Inching towards the 20-minute threshold. Here from the Pacific Northwest, Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action tonight from Starfire Sports Complex Stadium. Terrific venue with an interesting playing surface that visiting teams occasionally struggle to adapt to, but it's a venue that's been open since April of 2005 and has hosted the Sounders in the Defiance and U.S. Open Cup in the past, as Gomez handles this cleverly and then just runs into a thicket of defenders on the edge of the area. Still nothing to separate Tacoma and Austin. Fast start from Tacoma. Now Austin starting to take the sting out of things, but both sides have yet to procure a clean-cut chance, with the exception of Gonzalez's effort that blazed high and wide in the late stages of the opening 10. Since then, a filling out process in which both teams are trying to find areas to exploit. May have a chance to do that here. That's a cynical tackle that yields a yellow card. Xavi Niaulati, the first man in the book for either side. He knows what he's doing here. Tugging on his opposite number the entire way, and Kanana Hot drawing the yellow card on his midfield counterpart. Nyalati in the book. That is the only booking of note so far.
Referee issued a yellow card. Defiance player number 32, Xavi Ginolati.
Hot was an ACC all first team selection earlier this fall. It's given away. That was slightly over enthusiastic from the midfielder for Tacoma. Thomas launching it long. Watt. Midway point of the first half. Both these teams looking to find a hole in their opposite numbers back lines. Defensive organization, such a key for Tacoma. Following the rocky performance at Dynamo Dos a couple weeks back, they fell 4-0 to a side that's been the dominant entity in the Western Conference on the young campaign. Paulo Nagamura mentioning how proud he was of their solidity last week in the scoreless draw. Meanwhile, Austin showing some vulnerability on the counter especially, so Jason Shackle has prioritized that on his end of things. And as a result, you've gotten a cagey affair where neither side is willing to leave themselves too exposed at the back to chase this. You'd figure as this wears on and tired legs begin to set in, that is where the run of play may change. O'Neal. Well, fans, this portion of the match is brought to you by Providence Swedish, official healthcare partner of Seattle Sounders FC. Burton is dragged down. The whistle sounds against Gayatin Sandnes. Taken too quickly for our referee's liking. Botto. Someone that Jason Shackle has challenged to roam forward in midfield a touch more this year. Last season sat as a 6. He's flashed more capabilities now as Burton's effort rolls into the gloves of Max Anchor. No real issues there. There has been a conversation, though, between Jason Shackle and Jack Botto about adding a dimension to the attack, not just knocking it side to side or sitting in front of the back line, which he is objectively good at. But now it's about adding that forward-thinking, direct dimension to his game. Well, of course, staying in shape and not leaving the back line compromised, as Sebastian Gomez is slow to return to his feet here. Botto starting to pick out that space in the center of the park. Hale dispossessed by Hauregi. Maybe a chance to break now. Smith. Nyalati may take the patient route. O'Neal. Sukanome spraying it wide, and it is a lovely ball. Phoenix looking to keep it afloat. Ebbs and flows to this one. Moments of strong possession from Austin, and now Tacoma getting in their zone. O'Neal. Sukanome. Braden Smith can't keep it in play. But he does win it back. Bronick. Nyalati. credit to Austin. Every time they lose it, they recover so well in their shape. But Niaulati causing issues. Sukanome, and there was a foul on the edge of the area. A yellow card shown as well. Definitely something to monitor for Charlie Farrar and the Austin defense. You see here Gomez running between the channels, as is Niaulati. And it is the latter who is clipped from behind after laying it off to Sukanome. And that yields the first yellow of the night for Austin.
Austin FC2 player number 24, Keenan Hott.
It is Keenan Hott who's in the book on his first professional start. And this is where Sukanome can cause plenty of trouble. Himself and Xavi Niaulati are the two in the vicinity. Sukanome, last season's third leading goal scorer in MLS Next Pro, would not be shy about hitting it from this distance. It is Sukanome who lays it off, flashed across the face. Rather tame to Gomez, who does run it down. Smith arcing it towards the back post now. O'Neal. Wide for Sandnes, the center back, who clips it in. Headed away, but run down again by Gomez. And industrious defending on the far side. Phoenix. Winslow. Spinning past one. Anchor. It's not the best of clearances. Finally a chance for Austin to settle things down. Have spent the better part of the last 5-6 minutes on the back foot. And that is the way this match has changed so gradually over time. Both sides enjoying spells of dominance. It's to be expected from two sides that are possession oriented. This is O'Neal, who wins a corner for Tacoma. It's the second or third time they've won the ball in a very threatening spot from their press. Some issues for Austin playing out. This is the first corner that's resulted. And it will be Cody Phoenix who takes it, the New Zealander. Now Lottie in the vicinity as well. Phoenix arcing it in toward the near post. There's no flick on though. It's a routine clearance for Austin. Haregi. 30 minutes gone, still no score between Defiance and Austin FC2. Sam Goldfarb taking you through these 90 minutes. An intriguing one brewing so far. You've seen moments of dominance from both sides, but you've yet to see cutting edge from either. And as this wears on, you get the sense that will materialize. Sukanome can provide plenty of that. Looks forward to Gomez. Sukanome. Niaulati. Sukanome loses his footing. It's a rare miscue from him. Bottle. Kayeli. Broken up by O'Neal authoritatively at that. It is a pair of sides with vastly different histories. A Tacoma side that's been around since 2014, played in the USL ranks for years, struggled mightily during their time in USL before making the move to MLS Next Pro. And when they did, were quite dominant, made the playoffs 3 straight years, were a legitimate player, especially in 2024, to make noise deep into the postseason before falling to the eventual champions both times. As this is run down by Hale, who's brought down just outside the area. The ball was cleanly won, according to our official Trevor Wiseman. But last season was the step back Tacoma fans didn't want to see. Looked like they were a shoo-in for the playoffs through the opening 2 months, and then things unraveled fast. A back line that struggled mightily, a rotating, revolving door of goalkeepers, and it didn't help that Osaze de Rosario, who led MLS Next Pro through the opening 2 months in goals, signed with the first team, which obviously is a tip of the cap to the developmental model in Seattle, but definitely took away some of their attacking output in the second team ranks. Hauregi, Smith, O'Neal. Hauregi inching towards the final 10 minutes of this first half. Smith, flag stays down, that right across the face, but a couple footsteps in front of Mark Baranek. More promise, though, from Tacoma. There is now a player down for Austin. They may be readying a substitution to account for this. It is Riley Thomas, who's down once again. Dealt with a slight injury scare about 15 minutes ago on the opposite end of the pitch. Got up rather spryly, but still down here. This is a key defender for Austin FC2, someone who joined after being picked 42nd overall in the 2025 MLS Super Draft. Has been a frequent presence at right back specifically. Maybe forced to stand on the touchline for a minute or two. Due to MLS Next Pro protocols, you wonder if that is the end of his evening as well. And it is. So change taking place for Austin FC2. Daniel Cheshla replacing Riley Thomas at fullback. Austin forced into an injury substitution in the first half. Cheshla, 21 years of age, joining from Polish football last February on a 3-year guaranteed Next Pro contract. Someone who was a frequent starter a year ago, but has been more of a reserve to open this season behind the likes of Thomas and Kay Ellie at the fullback spots. Here he gets a chance to play for an extended portion of time. So Cheshla in, Thomas out. And the first change for Austin taking place 10 minutes before intermission. Sukanome. Hot. Now Burton. Still plenty of time for a plot twist before intermission. Both defenses keeping it tight at the moment, though. Botto. It's been the key to breaking the Tacoma press when Austin's been successful. That defense-breaking, line-breaking pass forward to him, allowing him to carve out space and create a platform to move the other way. Hot. Well, fans, this portion of the match is brought to you by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians, a tribe known for being generous and welcoming to all people. Inside the final 10 minutes of the first half, Austin on the back foot, Tacoma asking questions, but again, outside of that Adrian Gonzalez chance around the 10-minute mark, we have yet to see anything clear-cut in this first half. Austin, these last 15 or so, has found themselves pinned deep in their own half. Very little avenue to roam forward. Can they change that here? Dobrivec, Big East Offensive Player of the Year in 2025 with Akron. Baro dropping deep into that defensive line as they look to build. Hot, escorting it wide to Kaeli, but it's read brilliantly by Mark O'Neill. The high-profile signing Tacoma made this offseason, 24 years of age, 9 goals in Next Pro, including postseason a year ago. Not just a threat on set pieces, he's generally a threat going forward, either from center back or full back. Despite playing out of his natural position as a right back, he's done quite well to open the season for Tacoma. Gomez in acres of space, finds Phoenix. Clever flick towards Bronick. It's broken up well, though, by Betty. No nonsense from Winslow. Nyalati. Launched forward towards Dobrivec. Phoenix. Read very well by the reserve fullback Cheshla. Hauregi. Sukanome threading it through to Bronick, but overcooks it. It looks like Tacoma's best moments have come when they've won it upfield in the press. Out of the natural build, they've struggled to pull Austin out of position, and that's a testament to Jason Shackle's side. He's drilled a strong defensive shape, a flexible one that can recover quickly. And that, again, has been his primary point of emphasis since the difficult defeat to open the year against Minnesota United FC 2. Someone who, of course, has played himself as a defender in the English top flight. Over 500 appearances across the top 4 divisions of English football. Multiple promotions to the Premier League, and of course playing a massive role for the Burnley FC side that played in the 2014-15 season of the Barclays Premier League. His opening match that season against Chelsea at Turf Moor. 3-1 defeat in which he started, and that set the tone for him to play the full year, although it was a disappointing relegation campaign for the Clarets that year. Multi-time best 11 selection in the championship in League 2, though. Final 5 minutes of the first half. We still await first blood for one of these two sides to draw them out of their respective shells. That is a ferocious tackle on Gonzalez. The referee waves play on, though. Cheslop. Ranging centrally. No one there to meet it. Broken up by Botto. And this is hot for Burton. Kayeli. Rare spell of extended possession for Austin. They had a moment early on in the first half. Since then, Tacoma's grabbed a vice grip of the run of play. And that went out of play. Gomez, one of the many first-teamers that fill the 11 for Tacoma tonight. It's a foul conceded by Yusukanome, and this is a chance for Austin to spray it forward if they so choose. And into the area now. It's driven across the face. Anchor spills it. And there's a question of whether or not it crossed the line. It appears he's done just enough to keep it out. Well, that was nearly a heart and throat moment for the first teamer, Max Anchor. It was just launched forward quickly. And then the tuck inside. And this was nearly nightmarish. Anchor just does enough to keep it out. Looked for a moment like Stefan Dobrijevic had opened the scoring. But for now, Tacoma remains level. This hoofed ahead again towards Hale, who clatters into Gayatine Sandness on that occasion. Final minute of the initial 45. Still nothing to separate these two sides. Offside flag is up against Tacoma. Well, you wonder who would be the happier of the two managers in this instance. Perhaps it would be Jason Shackle, just given that his side hasn't necessarily looked the sharpest in possession, has turned it over a few times in their own final third against this Tacoma press, and still finds themselves level. It's by no means been a poor performance from Austin FC2, but they have yet to hit top gear. I'm sure on the other end of things, Tacoma may be frustrated that they haven't asked more questions of Charlie Farrar in this Verde and Black back line. 3 minutes of stoppage time separate us from intermission. Sukanome. This is risky in the build from Tacoma. Just about negotiated out of danger, and perhaps they pulled Austin out of position here. Hauregi launching forward now. Wide for Braden Smith, the academy product, who flips in across. Phoenix sprinting after it. Underwhelming ball inside to Bronick. Tracked well, though, by Winslow. entering the final minute of the added 3. And at the moment, not much to write home about for either side. Austin with probably the best chance of the match through Adrian Gonzalez inside the opening 10 minutes. And since then, has been a touch of a slugfest with both sides prioritizing their defensive organization. Likely the final sojourn forward for Tacoma in this first half. O'Neal winning it back. There are numbers in support now for Defiance. Haregi, and he undercooked the ball to him. Now the other direction. Hale dispossessed. Braden Smith muscled him off it. Fans applauding his industry out of possession. Sukanome. And there is the halftime whistle. Not much in it between these two sides. An early chance for Adrian Gonzalez that went begging, and then a long spell of dominance for Tacoma, but neither side.
Ahead of the first half with the score of Austin FC 0 and Defiance 0.
Defiance star Georgie Manungu in this incredible story.
Fans, proceeds from your match ticket tonight go to benefit Ray Foundation's 26 Fields by 2026 initiative.
Can't rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next. Just know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next. Just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro.
We welcome you back. Our score at the half is 0-0 between Tacoma Defiance and Austin FC 2. And during this halftime, it gives us a chance to get to know the continuing journey of former Tacoma Defiance star Georgie Manungu. Take a look at this incredible story.
Manungu, numbers for Seattle, looking to put this one to bed. Manungu! This one's in bed, and Georgie Manungu puts it there.
Manungu again running at Yaboa, again stepping over, byline. Manungu!
Oh! Georgie Manungu is as unpredictable as any player I've seen play for Seattle in MLS history.
Come from a Christian family, you know. My mom raised me with love and a lot of smile, and like she gave me like all like good education, like always happy, whatever is coming, you know. So like I feel like I can play without joy, you know. As soon as I play like with no joy, I'm not happy. And I'm trying to, you know, to enjoy what I'm doing and like always be like normal, natural, you know. So that's me, you know, smile, you know, that's the thing.
For a long time, nobody in Seattle knew the name Georgie Manungu. But in a small village near the western edge of Ivory Coast, the game was already shaping him.
There was no rule, there was no restriction. We play like 9v1, you know, you have the ball and you have to, like 9 defenders against you, and then you have to dribble all of them to go score, you know. That's how I grew up.
He played in the street, sometimes with a ball made of plastic bags. There were no coaches, no tactics, just a game, and a joy that never left him.
It was fun. We played like on the street, you know, the ball wasn't like a real ball. It was a very good time, you know. I enjoyed those times, and every time I go back home, I have to play against my friend, yeah.
When he came to the US, he still had a lot to learn. He studied tape, asked questions, learned where to be and why.
Before training, I went in their office because I didn't really know like about the positioning, the tactical stuff, you know, but they helped me every time. They helped me grow. Like I saw like how I improve a lot, you know, and my level like goes to the next level, you know, because they've been there since the first that they saw the potential in me, and they decided to help me. They really did the job, you know. So I really appreciate that, and like that's why I'm in the MLS level now, yeah.
Early in 2023, he was close to signing with the Sounders' first team. Then, without warning, his life changed drastically.
Like I did a great preseason, even score. Like I was so good in preseason, and we came back, you know, training, and then stuff like that happened. You know, it was like all my world like goes down. Like I didn't really know. Like was like, what's really going on? I'm about to live my dream, and then like this stuff happened, you know. But like, you know, I'm a son of God. Whatever happened, you know, is God will decide, you know. And I decided to fight and not let this thing affect me, you know. The doctor was saying like, no, maybe it's not possible that you might play one day, but I was like, no, I'm gonna fight through. I'm gonna play even if I have one eye. I'm gonna be the best. Everybody's gonna say, oh, this kid has one eye, but he's even better than those who has 2 eyes. And that's my mindset now, you know. No matter where I go, no matter how defender is good, or like I'm gonna go through and then I'm gonna play. I'm gonna be the best winger in this league, and that's my mindset. That's how I get to the first team.
Then, another blow. His father passed away.
My family didn't want me like to be. They know that this thing affects me, you know, and they didn't want me to go back to my country, and then like I'll be so much affected that when I came back, you know, my game will not be the same, you know. And that moment I just signed with the first team, so that was the moment to help the team. So I talked to my mom. She was like, Georgie, I know you want to come, but for me, I think like the good thing for you to do is to stay and help your team, you know. And I know your dad will tell me, if he was there, he would say the same thing, you know, because my dad like would never want me to leave training or something like that to just go do other thing, you know, because he's been helping me a lot since I used to be a kid to just keep training and stuff like that, you know. So like I listened to my family, and then I decided to stay and then play for my dad. And then after at the end of the year, I went back to see everything, and yeah, that wasn't easy, you know, playing with knowing that your dad passed away and you can't even go over there, like just seeing for last one time, you know, it's very tough. But I decided to play for the team because I love the team, and yeah, that's the more important thing. I have a lot of people here supporting me, so that was huge.
Right towards the spot. That one's side going. Touched in by Manungu.
ball come on me, I just put it in, you know. And in that moment, I was thinking about my dad, you know, because my dad passed away the day before. So the coach even asked me, Georgie, are you sure like you can play? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play. So, you know, scoring that goal, and then like I was crying even at the end, you know, everybody come to support me, but that was a good moment for me. And I even, you know, put my hand on sky, you know, to say, yeah, Dad, I know you over there, but, you know, like I'm playing for you now. And that was a good moment, you know, and thanks God for everything, you know, and that was one of the best moments of my life, yeah.
He's proven he belongs. Now, he wants more.
I'm always fighting, but my goal is like, you know, to be the best in my position, try to score goal, assist, and try to help the team win trophy, you know. We never know like how it's gonna end, you know, but everybody's dream is to play like, you know, maybe one day in Europe, Champions League, something like that, you know. You never know, that's my dream too, you know, but now I want to help the team, you know, the same way the team helped me too.
He's not just here for himself. His journey is a message.
Whatever you want in your life, go find it, go get it. Because if you don't do it, maybe in the future, one day you're gonna regret it, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, maybe I could, maybe no. In my mind, there is no maybe. Either I find a way to do that, or either like I create myself a way to do that. So that's my mindset.
We welcome you back to Tacoma, where at halftime our scoreline reads Tacoma 0, Austin 0 after 45 minutes of action. It's not an act. One of your favorite Ted Lasso actors did make an appearance in a camp and can play, and we tracked him down to talk about the experience with Chicago Fire.
Hola, hola, this is Cristo Fernandez, and we're here at the new facilities in Chicago Fire. Very happy and grateful to be here. I know I've been doing more acting and filmmaking these last couple of years. I would have never imagined how life was gonna turn for me. Never imagined that with my new dreams of film and acting, football, soccer was gonna be the thing that was gonna open them for me. I say this because I've always missed football, soccer. That's my first love. The level is very intense, young upcoming players, so lots of potential in this club. I can say that this is world-class level. I played professionally back home in Guadalajara. We didn't have this level of world-class facilities. I think the club is doing something great for both the city, the team, the players. It's a dream come true for anyone to be here, so for me it's also a dream come true to be here now, and I am grateful for the opportunity. What has surprised me is the level of the team. I've seen both the first team, the second team, the players, they're doing something great. And what surprised me as well is the quality of the people, very nice people. And that also says a lot about the club, and I think that's very important. It's been really nice getting back to the field, training, and really giving my best and believing I still can play this professionally, and we'll see where the dream takes us. But it's been really nice.
We welcome you back to Tukwila, Washington, where at halftime there's no score between Tacoma Defiance and Austin FC2. Gives us a chance to take a look around MLS Next Pro. Here's your look at last week's scores. Crown Legacy continuing to cruise. 3-0 victories over Inter Miami 2. Meanwhile, how about Toronto FC2? A 5-0 obliteration of New York City FC2 on Thursday, and then a busy Saturday yesterday in which Huntsville prevailed on penalties. Meanwhile, Columbus Crew 2 also 2-0 victors over FC Cincinnati 2 in the Heck is Plausible Derby. In terms of what's coming up in MLS Next Pro, take a look at the upcoming schedule. We continue our action on Monday. Timbers 2 hosting Ventura County, and then a busy weekend once again headlined by Whitecaps 2 and LAFC 2. Carolina Core hosting Inter Miami 2 as well. And then New York Red Bull 2, the defending champions, away from home at Revolution 2 on Sunday. In terms of this fixture, gives us a chance to take a look at our first half highlights from Starfire Sports Complex Stadium. It's a half where chances were few and far between, a cagey affair in which both teams were really jockeying for control through the majority of the half. Tacoma on the front foot early, though. Mark Bronick getting on the end of this. A tame effort, though, after a well-worked move. Just dragging it wide. And then Austin, a quality chance around the 15-minute mark. You see here they work it wide. Micah Burton trying from afar, but dribbling it into the gloves of Max Anchor. And then Tacoma started to win the ball high upfield in its press. This is where they generated their best half chances. This was a flashing cross that deflected out of play. And then from there, Micah Burton trying to navigate out of trouble. One back again, and then it was nearly thread through to the goalkeeper. And then here you see this last chance from Austin. They shoot it right at Max Anchor. We'll throw it to break here. We'll be right back.
Yeah, boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still sticking ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best, can rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next, just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
And we welcome you back to Tukwila, Washington, where we are just about set for second half kickoff in this final match of a jam-packed Sunday in MLS Next Pro. Match day 4, Tacoma Defiance and Austin FC2 locking horns for the first time since the thriller last September. Just getting ready to get things back going here at Starfire Sports Complex Stadium. Nothing to separate these two teams after 45 minutes. Austin hoping they can break the deadlock. So is Tacoma as they chase their first ever victory in 2026. Austin FC2 has made a change at halftime as they get us back underway. Eric Feliciano is into the action, the Austin FC2 Academy product at 16 years old. So he's in as Austin hopes he can revolutionize the left flank in place of Aiden Hale, Academy player for Academy player here at intermission. We welcome you back into Starfire Sports Complex Stadium. Sam Goldfarb taking you the rest of the way on a late night in Tacoma, Washington. It is just after 8 p.m. local time, 11 p.m. on the East Coast. For those joining us, we thank you for tuning in as we see if one of these two sides can separate from each other on the score sheet. It is a Tacoma side that has not scored since the opening night of the season. 2 goals in the final 10 minutes allowed them to snatch a draw from the jaws of defeat in their opener against LAFC2 on this very ground. Since then, they have not scored in a considerable period of time, 230 minutes through halftime. In the first half, moments of promise, but they had yet to carve out any clear-cut chances. No saves from Charlie Farrar required. Meanwhile, Austin FC2 asked questions of Max Anchor, mostly in quick, fleeting moments. Cheshla can't keep this in play for Austin. Yellow card was shown. Sukanome. Sprayed long.
The referee previously issued a yellow card. Austin FC player number 14.
Yellow card shown to the substitute, Cheshla. So the second man in the book for Austin. It is Daniel Cheshla, the reserve right back in place of Riley Thomas. Well, an intriguing second half on display. Neither of these two sides truly threatening with clear-cut chances in the first half. Gomez is looking to change that here. It's not the best of through balls, and that's been the area of Tacoma's game that has let them down tonight. That final ball has eluded them all evening through the opening 45 and change. Tacoma, positive pressure, strong moments where they progress through midfield and extended spells of possession in the final third, but unable to cut through this Austin back line, which, to their credit, has been extremely organized. Think about this fixture in particular, the odd stat of note that comes to mind is these two teams have not drawn in the previous 5 meetings. It's 3 victories for Austin, 2 for Tacoma, including the 2-1 triumph here on September 12th. It's an Austin side that also eliminated Tacoma from the playoffs in 2023. The last 2 postseason runs for Tacoma have ended against the eventual champions in both Austin and North Texas. Austin, meanwhile, has not ventured back into the postseason since that magical 2023 campaign in which they won the final in Columbus. It's given away cheaply by Smith. Barrow spraying it wide and headed away. It's a physical coming together. The referee lets go on. Now Gomez racing the other way. Runs right into the oncoming boot of Cheshla. Forward pass here, and it is a brilliant vertical ball, cut across, right into Farrar's gloves though. You see Bronick frustrated that that cutback wasn't on target. Again, that's been the story of these opening 50 minutes or so from Tacoma. Positive progression with the ball, moments where they win it back and look like they're set to ask questions, and then they have yet to produce a final product that actually troubles Charlie Farrar. Again, though, as this wears on and teams begin to make changes, you figure it will open up, especially because Tacoma's still hunting that first victory, so you'd think they would chase it. Feliciano sprays this wide to Dobrievic. Cheshla. Bato. He's not shy about having a pop from afar. It's given away, but one back. And now Cheshla's cross into the mix. Just beyond Burton, but better from Austin. Gomez. Clipped over the top towards Bronick, but right into the gloves of Farrar, who had a quiet first half, but starting to see more action here since the restart. Native of Wakefield, England, who played at UNC Asheville and spent the first month and a half of last season as a free agent before signing with the club in late April and then really making noise. 20 starts a year ago despite signing about 2 months into the season in 2025. He was very strong between the sticks, anchored one of the better defenses in MLS Next Pro. And when you talk about Austin last season, the issue was never the back line. It was always a front line that didn't produce consistently enough. Had stars up there, but had yet to establish a consistent trend of scoring. Farrar did start on the bench the first match of the season behind Eric Lauda, but he's been back between the sticks ever since, and a clean sheet last weekend to boot, as that's out of play for what should be an Austin corner. And with the way this has unfolded, these are the moments where you'd fancy Austin to grab an opener. If they do, sets them up from the far side corner flag. In-swinger. It's collected confidently by Anchor. Now bashing it upfield. Gomez chasing after it, does take it down. Dobrijevic. Forward for Cheshla. Austin starting to get more expensive in possession. Dobrijevic again. Bato. Have yet to see him press the issue in possession. More of a metronome in midfield thus far. He's had few touches in dangerous areas to actually make an impact. That's cleverly done on the far side, though. Feliciano looking back for Hot. Burton on the turn, hunting an angle to shoot. Cheshla. Headed along, Burton after it. It's Micah Burton, who does win a corner. Strong defending from the 17-year-old Gayatin Sandnes. Just about does enough. In-swinger. Bato knocking it back wide. Hot. It's a late challenge. It's one that draws the ire of our official. Gonzalez. Bato. Well, for those just joining us, we welcome you to Tukwila, Washington at Starfire Sports Complex Stadium. Sam Goldfarb here bringing you all of the action with some MLS Next Pro After Dark. No score between Defiance and Austin FC 2. It is a Defiance squad hunting its first victory of the season after earning draws in 2 of the opening 3 contests. Austin fresh off its first win of the season a week ago against North Texas and still hoping to carry that over. It's a game where chances few and far between. Tacoma the better of the 2 sides in the first half, but Austin starting to probe themselves here since the restart. Here's Gomez. It's under hit for Phoenix. Maybe the tide starting to shift back in Austin's favor. Burton is fouled, and the referee does not play advantage to the chagrin of the Austin players. All in all, if Austin themselves, and Tacoma for that matter, can keep a clean sheet, it would reflect quite well on how they've rebounded from rockier opening match performances. Remember, Tacoma conceded 6 goals in the opening 2 games. Austin themselves, the exact same number, both on the back of their first clean sheets. It would be a confidence booster, especially in the front of Tacoma, a side that leaked goals at the back in the crucial juncture of last season. You get the sense that maybe this is on the verge of opening up. Dobriovic tried to play the overlap late and sticking with it. Bashed away on the edge of the area, and Bronick running the opposite direction. Can't turn his defender and Watt. Now the pendulum swinging back in Austin's favor. Burton. Coming much deeper to claim now to get involved in the buildup. Gonzalez. Dobriovic has Cheshla to his right. Instead keeping it himself. Sprinting past Gomez, a clip cross, and it ripples the outside of the side netting. No real trouble for Anchor. There is a man now down for Austin. Physical challenges in the 50-50 battles. And this definitely a spot of worry. Looks like it may be Adrian Gonzalez. And he is a key piece of this Austin midfield since joining last season, an established veteran in MLS Next Pro for years. Someone who's best known for his long 4-season tenure with LA Galaxy 2, but also played a key role for Crew 2 a couple years back, and now in year 2 with Austin, they expect him to be a big piece in the way they control games. And he is still being tended to by the physios. They've already made 1 change, actually 2, excuse me. Feliciano and then Cheshla due to injury for Thomas. No immediate action on the Austin bench just yet. Three changes being prepared by Tacoma Defiance in the midst of all of that. it appears that that Andrew Brown will be one of the 3 to enter, in addition to 2 further alterations in the form of Edson Carley and Danny Robles. Those have not taken place just yet. Bato. Well inside the final half hour now. And remember, if this remains level after 90 minutes, we go to penalties to determine who achieves an additional point in the standings. Both these sides have already gone to pens once this season. Phoenix ranging forward from left back. Vertical ball here. It's back for Phoenix! Just curled high and wide. That is the brightest spell of play for Tacoma tonight. Slick. Phoenix linking so well with Sukunome. Some invention on the back heel. It sets him up perfectly. And I think he feels he should have taken the chance better. And that, his final involvement as well. So it is a triple change. Drew Brown, Edson Carley, and Danny Robles all in. Mark Bronick is one of the men to vacate.
Number 81, Mark Bronick.
So Phoenix and Bronick are out.
Number 30, Edson Carley. And leading the match, number 34, Danny Robles.
And then the final alteration, Robles is into the action, a former veteran in USL League One for Braden Smith. That's like for like. So Robles for Smith in the defensive midfield roles. Brown in for Phoenix. Brown's a listed left back, and it appears Edson Carley entering the fray on the front 4. Likely, you'll see Yusukanome move up top, and Edson Carley slot into that attacking midfield trio with Gomez and Jauregui. So many changes for Paulo Nagamura as he looks to revolutionize Tacoma across the board. Here is Sukunome still in that pocket. And it's Carley for now who moves up front. Robles. Gomez. Brown. Just a heavy touch there from Nyauladi. Nyauladi again. Looking forward. More vertical play now from Tacoma, but it hasn't come off. That's a crunching tackle from Robles. Gomez. Out wide now, Carley ushering it along. Low cross in, rather tame. Finally dealt with by Austin. Dobrjevic. Crafty for Burton. Looking around the corner, and that's a physical challenge from Winslow. Well, Fan Sounders FC is proud to partner with Regents Blue Shield, a health plan powering Washington's health and wellness for more than 100 years. Inside the final 25 minutes, and still no score between Tacoma Defiance and Austin FC 2. Tacoma now ushering themselves back onto the front foot, a game of ebbs and flows in which the home side has primarily had the upper hand, but Austin, the visitors, enjoyed a promising spell after the restart. Tacoma the best chance of the game moments ago. Cody Phoenix right before being replaced at left back. A slick 1-2 with Yusukanome, and he just dragged his effort high and wide. Austin now themselves are preparing a double swap. I wonder if Adrian Gonzalez, who grappled with injury concerns moments ago, will now exit, and that he will. So Austin now back to the drawing board. Marcel Russell is in for Gonzalez. That is a like-for-like midfield swap, a signing that joined the club last summer. Meanwhile, Micah Burton's night comes to a close. It is the return of Ibrahim Assal, who missed last match He is back in the fold and is a physical option up top. So solve for Burton, that target man presence intact. And then, as we previously mentioned, Gonzalez off for Marcel Russell. Those the double changes from Jason Shackle.
Number 8, Adrian Gonzalez.
Jauregui.
Replaced by number
Gomez.
16, Marcel Russell. Also in the pitch, number
Ibrahim Assal is a major threat. Already a goal to his name. Scored the opener against Ventura County. That a match in which Austin took a 2-0 lead before letting it slip in the second half. The inverse of the LA match for Tacoma, as Gomez lays it back off. Ushered along to Niaulati, just wide. Tacoma continuing to press the issue, and Niaulati was not far off from that range. Sebastian Gomez here cuts in on his right. He's wise and unselfish to lay it off. Carly does just enough to usher it along, and Niaulati had the goal at his mercy. Took a deflection in the process as well. So more target practice from set pieces for Tacoma. This is an area that Jason Tackle says they'll have to monitor because Tacoma is especially threatening in these scenarios. Xavi Niaulati to whip within swing. Back post. O'Neal committing the foul as he leapt above Jacobato. And the set piece specialist penalized for his overzealous challenge. Bato spraying it forward now. And it's rather clumsily dealt with by Jesper Winslow, and that sets up Austin with a corner. And as we approach the final 20 minutes, every set piece feels that much more critical at this stage. 3 points could be on the line on any of these opportunities. More target practice for Patrick Kaeli, the go-to option from corners all night. Taken short. And sprayed in menacingly from Kaeli. Cleared only as far as Bato, and that was audacious and always rising. After last week, can you fault him? Scored from about 10 yards closer, and it went top bins. That unfortunately was never traveling towards the target though. Final 20 minutes, and the question remains, can one of these two sides procure an opener and potentially a winner? A tight, toughly contested affair in which both teams have had enjoyment on the ball, but few chances as well. Bato floats it to Feliciano, who does get there, and he's offside in the process. Now Bato is down, and this is definitely a concern as Feliciano was shown the yellow card moments ago. He's back to his feet now. Of course, the off-field injury treatment rule in MLS Next Pro has been pretty critical to speeding up the pace of play and minimizing waste in terms of time on the pitch. Of course, if physios have to come out and treat a player, it requires a player to go off for multiple minutes, and that leaves your team down to 10. So in instances where a player has gone down, it's hard for them to waste time. This is flicked along to Jauregui, who has options in the area. Opts for patience again. O'Neal left it loose, and Kelly all over it. Only as far as Sandness, though. But in instances like that, when Baró is more than content to continue, it is imperative for him to get up and continue play, because if Physio's come out, he leaves his team at a numerical disadvantage for a brief period. And in a fixture where things are this tight, can't afford to do that. Brown, the reserve fullback. Gomez knocked away, and that is a shove in the back of Ibrahim Assal, his first real involvement in the buildup. He's someone who can cause real problems. Ibrahim Assal spent time in Serie D in Italy with Notaresco before joining Austin FC2 this offseason. Someone who also spent time in his native Senegal in the youth ranks at Sanu Tanier before making the move to Italy. So someone with global experience as he makes the move to the American game. This falls kindly for Hott and lashes it over. Not unfair to say, Austin's had the better of the chances this second half, though. Jason Shackle's men have responded well after having to suffer out of possession for the lion's share of that first half. Knocked long from Kelly towards Saul. Winslow. Robles. Not on the same wavelength as Gomez, and you hear the audible groan of frustration as well. Well, fans, this portion of the match is brought to you by the Western Washington Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Ticking towards the final 15 minutes of this initial 90 from Tukwila, Washington. No score between Defiance and Austin FC2. A match with ebbs and flows momentum-wise. Austin likely the better of the chances, especially in this second half, but Tacoma on the front foot for the larger share of the match as well. As Edson Carley latches onto this. Just seeking options upfield, and they have not presented themselves all night for Tacoma. Progress to the final third has been slowed or frankly paused on a frequent number of occasions. Now a quick surge forward from Austin. Hott dives in. Cheshla arcs in across. Headed away. And then the long range hit is collected very well by Anchor in the end. That may have been destined for the far corner. Well, again, reminder, if it is level, penalties is the destination, and an additional point in the next pro standings would be on the line. As of now, they're set to share the spoils, but there will be a chance for one of these two sides to build more ground as they look to climb up the table. Tacoma, 2 of their 3 points coming from a draw in which they won on penalties. That came last Saturday against Earthquakes 2. Austin, meanwhile, falling in their only shootout against Ventura County, a match in which they had a 2-0 lead at halftime and let things slip in the dying embers. Saul. Sloppily dealt with by Tacoma. They do just enough to win a free kick and alleviate the pressure, though. One more change from Austin. Stefan Dobrjevic departs. Quiet night
pitch, number 21.
For one of the prominent signings this offseason, he is replaced by Mohamed Badawia. Badawia played more of a center midfield role last year as a reserve for Austin. This season has played more on the flanks, and he steps into that right flank role for Dobrijevic to round out these final 14 minutes or so. Gomez dispossessed immediately by Badawia, who wins the free kick. Well, Mo Badawia, 18 years of age, out of the Austin FC Academy. His fourth appearance, has played 80 prior minutes this year. Last season signing with the second team midway through the campaign in July, as part of a season where he featured somewhat prominently with 11 appearances, largely as a reserve. Sal. Bado. Arced wide. Badawia. Launched long, looking direct for Cheshla. Was decently weighted, but blazed off his head and no trouble in the end for the Tacoma back line. Well, fans, this portion of the match is brought to you by Columbia Bank. Business end of things in Tukwila, Washington, and we still await the elusive opener. Gomez, can he provide a moment of magic? Clever touch from Sukanome, and now Edson Carley trying from outside the area and right at Farrar. And that's been the story whenever Tacoma has ventured into the final third tonight. Flirting with a goalless drought that could extend well beyond 270 minutes come evening's end. They have not scored since the 85th minute as part of that LAFC 2 match in which they overcame a 2-0 deficit in the final 10. That was scored by Mark Bronick, who is now off the pitch after being substituted for Edson Carley. Since then, scoreless in the last two. So that was 185 prior to the evening. If it carries through these 90 minutes, it would be a 275-minute goal drought, not including stoppage time. Not likely what Paulo Nagamura was hoping for, but I think he'll be pleased with another strong defensive display. This breaks the line for Gomez. And again is scored wide. Jauregui, Robles. Brown will let it roll out for a throw. Last 10 minutes on the cards.
We have a substitution for your Defiance. Leading the pitch, number 42, Rafael Angel Jauregui.
Jauregui's night comes to a close as Tacoma readies more changes.
Replaced by number 79.
And it is Leo Flores, who has been a super sub on the flanks to open this year, has also been a go-to option in penalty shootouts. Converted his penalty against San Jose last week. Here's Brown's clip cross in. It's deflected by Farrar, and that was enough of a touch to take it out of trouble. And now lofting it the other way towards Saul. Doesn't reach him. This could be an inviting, a lively final 10 minutes. I think both these squads will chase it. Tacoma, of course, at home, still awaiting that first victory. Austin's not been shy about bombing numbers forward on the break either. Although they'll have to be diligent and diplomatic about when they do so because, again, they have flash vulnerabilities on the counterattack on the young season. That is a concern Jason Shackle has headlined throughout the week. Flores. Jasper Winslow. That's a very aggressive coming together in the center of the park. Edson Carley involved in it. And his counterpart in Austin colors is still lying on the deck. And it will be a slow return to his feet from Cheshla. Do either of these two sides have a dramatic winner lined up, or will we be destined for penalties on a night where chances have been at a premium? O'Neal is penalized there. When you think about Tacoma's numbers from a year ago, just one clean sheet the entire season. They've matched that tally in league play already, so they have a chance to surpass that if they can keep Austin out. Still a lot of time to see it out, though. Saul playing it wide now. Bato weaving through defenders and driving it goalward. It's just parried wide by Anchor and had just enough pace to prevent an Austin player from latching onto the rebound. Jacobato just charging forward like Jason Shackle has instructed him to these last few weeks. It's not a convincing palm from Anchor, but just enough to take it out of trouble. And another corner for Patrick Kelly and company. Another chance for the MLS Super Draft pick out of Penn to cause some havoc. Low in-swinger this time. Cleared away confidently. And now flicked forward towards Saul. Anchor off his line. And looking long for Niaulati. Flores fouled. Another set piece for Tacoma. And before that, they make one more change. It's the end of the road for Sebastian Gomez, who had bright moments, especially after it was won back in the counter press. But his night comes to a conclusion. Saku Kitafuji replaces him on the left flank.
Saku Kitafuji.
Kitafuji, 20-year-old out of Japan, playing in the local high school and university ranks. One of the best high school players in Japan a few years back. Now making just his second appearance with Defiance, as this is lofted long to the back post. Was headed back in by O'Neal. Sal the other way. And turning on the afterburners for Austin with numbers in support. Threading it through now. A ferocious challenge from Robles. And he just dispossesses Badawia with ease. Flores keeps it in play. And upended ferociously, and a yellow card out of a referee's pocket. Shown to Marcel Russell. Well, Flores does well. Just drives inside. It is a heavy touch, but Russell mistimes the dive off his feet. Not much in it, but certainly a yellow card offense. It was around this point when Mark Bronick had a goal disallowed for offside. He thought he had won it. Instead, they had to settle for 2 points instead of 3. What does Paulo Nagamura's bunch have in their locker in the dying embers of this? Burton dragged down, Sukanome. O'Neal. Robles. 4 minutes of the initial 90 remain. Surely in store for some added time as well. Flores looking wide for Kitafuji, who gets on the end of it. Kitafuji cutting in on his left and rolling it right to the goalkeeper Farrar, but that's a positive first involvement from the 20-year-old. Kitafuji named to the 23-24 All-Japan high school team before playing at Kwansei Gakuin University. Signed his first pro contract on February 26th. This is just his second appearance, played 18 minutes through the opening 3 games. That came in the thrashing at the hands of Dynamo Dos a few weeks back. The only defeat on the young season for Tacoma thus far. But they still have yet to procure that first win. Badawia. Forced backward again. Saul. Badawia drawing multiple defenders now and darts past both. Badawia flashing it into the middle, a chance, and it's rolled in. Hott's first professional goal, and Austin leads late. Kenan Hott opening the scoring for Austin FC2 with his first professional strike. It's rolled into his path well. He does enough to navigate through traffic, and an excellent exhibition from the center midfielder to open his account in Austin colors. Austin 1, Tacoma 0, and they break through in the dying embers. Kenan Hott, the 22-year-old who spent last season with Duke University, a star at Duke, before being picked 32nd overall by Inter Miami in this year's Super Draft. Didn't wind up signing with the Herons, and he's a hidden gem now for Austin. His first goal since signing that professional deal. Did make an impact with New York Red Bulls too, as well as NYCFC during his time in the youth ranks when he got occasional appearances in Championship and Next Pro. This is his first since graduating from college. Kita Fuji back into the mix. Flores teeing it up. Good height for Farrar to save, and out for a corner. And now Tacoma must chase this. Hott did score once in MLS Next Pro in 2022. This is his first goal as a full-time professional, though. And it is just match 3 for him off the bench. His first start as well. In swinging corner. Punched away by Farrar. Not clear. Badawia looking to break the other way. It's cleaned up well and kept in play by Kita Fuji. Nyaladi looks long. Carly across. No one there in black to greet it. The story of the night for Tacoma. Promising moves, lacking a final touch or a final ball. We've hit 90 minutes. 4 minutes separate us from full time, and Tacoma still in a mad dash trying to rescue at least a point.
4 minutes.
Brown. The lone goal scored by Kenan Hott on 88 minutes. A Duke graduate who returns to Next Pro 4 years after scoring his last goal and opens his account as a full-time pro with Austin FC2. Wide. Carly. Looked to tee one up. Instead picks out Flores in the half space. An overlapping run. A clip cross. Kita Fuji headed it on frame. Farrar was in the way though. That was a quality chance for Tacoma. Badawia. Saul. Can they wrap it up? Badawia and Saul ranging forward. And Saul destination corner flag now as he wins a corner. Austin will be in no rush to take this now. Mo Badawia standing over it. The first player not named Patrick Kaeli to take a set piece for Austin tonight. taken short. And a match a keep away at this stage. They lose it out of play, though, there. Halfway through the added 4 minutes, just about. Sandness rushing forward. O'Neal. We had late drama in the form of Hot's opener. Tacoma no stranger to late equalizers on this ground, though. Brown. Kitafuji crossing it in. Stabbed away confidently by Watt. Anchor is well off his line now. Clips it ahead. Flick on header. Robles back across. Falls kindly, deflected, and that could have gone anywhere. Jasper Winslow having a pop. And a deflection takes it dramatically wide of the goal mouth. Ticking towards the final minute of added time now. If it's going to come for Tacoma, it must come now. Can they salvage something? An in-swinging corner, headed on, and just wide. Another corner on the way, despite the protests of Austin supporters. More chances here. Xavi Niaulati over it once again. In-swinger again. Still loose, it falls, and Flores blazes it over. That was the golden chance, and that may have been the final chance for Tacoma. It fell so kindly for Leo Flores, who just lashes at it quickly and can't keep it down. Had Farrar rooted to his line and was looking to pick out the top corner. Will there be time for Tacoma to launch it upfield once more, assuming they win this back? We have now hit the 4 minutes. Bato. Carly. Venturing into the final third. This the last chance for Defiance. And it goes begging. The full-time whistle sounds. Austin FC 2 prevailing in dramatic late fashion. Kanan Hot providing the winner on 88 minutes, and Tacoma for all of their possessional supremacy for spells, unable to pick apart this ironclad Austin back line, which keeps its second consecutive clean sheet. It is now time for tonight's Man of the Match, presented by Adidas and none other than Kanan Hot, who scores his first goal as a member of Austin FC 2 to secure all 3 points. A second straight win for Austin to power them comfortably inside the top 8. It comes after this sensational move from Mo Badawea, splits both defenders, and then it falls for Hot, who ranges through traffic and then just pokes it into the bottom left corner. That moment, the difference-making moment in the 88th minute, to power the Verde and Black to an away victory. Their first victory away from home in their first match away from home. Austin securing all 3 points. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Sam Goldfarb. Once again, our final score is Austin 1, Tacoma 0. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.